I'm sure it's okay if I just go in. No, you should not, girl! What are you doing? Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon, Karma's Root. So in the last episode, it's finally confirmed that Gerlin is a thing, so they're in a relationship. But Claude has been acting a little bit weird. He's been so moody around everyone, he doesn't talk to anyone, he's not training anyone, and the fact that Lucette has asked him to train her so she can protect herself. But I don't know what's going on with Claude, so in, try to cheer him up kind of way, Lucette decided to buy him a gift, which is a rose pendant. And we're gonna give it to Claude and see what happens. Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. I pause at Claude's door and remember the last time I entered his room. I'm sure it's okay if I just go in. No, you should not, girl! What are you doing? I open the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and I step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of the mirror, his shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. He's shirtless, but there's the tattoo. It seems different? Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest. Then I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly I close the door behind me. It clicks, and then when he suddenly turns to look at me, at first there's just shock on his face and suddenly anger. Again, why do you do this, Lucette? Oh god. Oh god, oh no, save! Oh god. I came to give something to you? I came to speak with you. I think I need to speak with him, right? I don't know. Came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself lately? You came to complain? No, I wanted to check on you. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have at the very least knocked. Whoa! Whoa! Damn, what is going on? In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me. His hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Okay, I know it's like all cool when, romances, they pin their other partner to the wall, and it's like, oh my god, it's so romantic. But in this case, they're not in a relationship, so Karma has no right to do this, to touch Lucette like that, so this is a bit weird. I don't know what's going on with him. His face is so close, his expression is so fierce that I cannot even bring myself to think out of the way. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying. I will not show any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That is what the Lucette I know would do. Then you do not know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. I already have retorted prepared when I stop and realizing that he's right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't, but I like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose in others' businesses? We're partners. That is the only reason it has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirk, but his smile is sardonic? What does that mean? Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo. Its thorns twisting around the rose. It is beautiful, but it is also lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. And your bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder for what? Princess, you can't imagine what this feels like. What is he talking about? And that woman! I thought we were meant to be! She was so lovely. Her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. That's why never again. But you ruined everything, Lucette. You cut me down like... Whoa! I pushed my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. Cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world by yourself then. The locket I brought to him burns in my hands, and I end up throwing it at his feet. Lucette, wait! I ignore him and I run to the room. What is going on, dude? Did he I'm assuming he fell in love with someone, but he was acting like an asshole, a pompous asshole to her, and then that's when that person put the curse on him, right? So he's like still angry about that or something? I don't fucking know. When I return to my room, I lock the door. I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep, but only have snatches of restless dreams where my eyes are finally closed. Dude, what the hell? Mother, Are you and father in true love, like in the fairy tales? I told you, I forbid you to speak of the fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. Then I shall have to find that person to make sure that they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in the palace is. But, mother, the true love in fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I could fall in love with a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. But the love between a mother and her child is the truest kind. It cannot be replaced by anything else. All kinds of love are an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, mother. What the fuck, yo? This mother is such a manipulative bitch. Jesus. Chapter 8, The Lost Prince. Keep your stance straight, princess. Durin gives me a warning, but too late on purpose. I can see a smile on her face. She effortlessly slides past my defense and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. Got you. Again. For the last few days, I have been practicing with Durin and Garland because Klaude still hasn't come out of his room. The knights offered to train me right now they are teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Klaude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Klaude. He made me so angry that one day I couldn't even properly give him the gift. Yet, I feel so sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus. I jolt out of my reverie and nod to Durin. Okay. I ready myself for her next strike and once again get tapped, this time on the hip. Garland takes over after Durin, and then we do rounds where I try to hit him while I try to hit them with certain strikes. They're both good at teaching, but it does not feel like the same as Claude's instructions. His lessons seems like they were out of the book. Don't worry, princess, it's a slow start. Mine was just slow in training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Durin's direction, his face turning deep red. Durin, that nickname. But you're so much fun to tease, lad. She beams him in and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before our knight tells us to wrap it up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out of it for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I do not return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Durin seems unconvinced, but she eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. I watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland place his arm around Durin's waist, pulling her closer. Woo! I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice with the sword for a few more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while practicing is the shallow breathing of the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of color in the forest and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. What was that? I glance around my surroundings, and then I freeze when I feel my hand on my shoulder. I feel someone breathing on my neck. This feels familiar. Is this Klaude? Put your hand over his mouth. We don't know who it is, so fuck that. I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand, but because I know it's him, I also know what he wants me to do. I duck away from his hand and turn away and point my sword. The tip of the wood at his neck for a few stunned moments. I think I've won. Even Klaude looks surprised. It's really him! But then Claude's hands have moved, and then he has one over my wrist, on the other on my sword. Good, Lucette, you realize that you have an opening, but you broke our concentration. Klaude removes his hands, allowing me to lower my sword. Sorry, Lucette. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Klaude holds out the rose pendant that I got for him. I feel my cheeks flush. I wonder if he opened it. I hope he did. You accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when Well, I came to return it. Return it? You left it in my room and I only thought it was appropriate to bring it back to you. Does it really think I left it there on accident? Why would I leave it in your room on accident? What? I brought it for you. And I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely and... Claude's eyes widened, then the surprise clear on his face. Lucette, you brought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Klaude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around in intricate shapes, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything you have done for me. Lucette, this is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers as he stares at the rose pendant in adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, and my breathing stops as he reaches out to holds up my glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. So, did it do anything? You really are a good person, Lucette. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give you? I look up at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. I feel like there's so much I want from Claude, but I do not want to ask him something that he might make him sad. I want you to smile. I want a hug. Honestly, I want him to smile. I think that's the right thing to do. Claude looks at me, his expression puzzled. He chuckles softly. But I am smiling. No, I want a real smile. One that isn't so sad. Ah, you saw right through me. We've been partners for long enough. How about this one? He looks like, is it working? His smile, a little awkwardly. And the quirk of his lips look more embarrassed than bright. I raised an eyebrow in confusion. No need for that look, darling. I really do appreciate you worrying for me. What? What happened? Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching in the fabric of his shirt. What the hell? What is happening? What's going on? Claude has a pained expression on his face, only making me more anxious. Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Lucette, don't worry about it. He lowers his hand with a pained smile and slowly fading from his face. This does a little to reassure me. Was it my fault you were locked in your room for so long? He just looks so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he be bitter? But it's not for you to worry, darling. What? It looked like you were having a heart attack. Of course I would worry. What the fuck? For now, we should head back. It's late, and you should just rest. I just got back from patrol, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything else I could do for you? No, sweet Lucette. You've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little with a gentle smile. The smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift, and I will treasure it always. Thank you, Lucette. Now, shall we head back? I nodded him, and we suddenly walked back to the Martian. I'm a little bit confused now. Okay, this is my prediction for Karma's Curse. Aside from the Beauty and the Beast thing, I'm assuming he does have to get someone to fall in love with him, but if he falls in love with someone who isn't in love with him, I feel like the thorns on his tattoo there will more of it will go on his body, but it will be painful. Is that what's going on right now? Because he doesn't know that Lucette has feelings for him. So he thinks he's falling in love with Lucette, but he knows, or he thinks he knows, that Lucette doesn't like him. So the curse is backfiring on him or something like that? I don't fucking know. I just get the feeling it's something like that. When we made it back to the tavern, I feel tired, but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Today I'm walking around the town to do some errands with Claude. It has been quite a while since we have done this. Though we were here to run errands, there was also something else that drew me to town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the Martian and told us of an announcement that the king was making today. Apparently, the announcement had been posted for at least a week's time, but Waltz had only caught it onto after hearing about it from the crowd after one of his puppet shows. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel like I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. I can see more people milling about as usual, which means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. I have a bad feeling about this. It is not strange for the king to make an announcement, but it feels so sudden. With everything else that has happened to me, I feel on edge. Wow, Lucette, you made these bags sound a lot light than they actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Seeing Claude complain is amusing, since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant, because we're making him carry the bags. What does that make me when you make me carry all the bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the Martian, you know. And then the thought struck me. What do you even do at the Martian? Claude looks surprised at my question and quickly smiles at me. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. I start laughing and Claude's face flushed. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. I wonder. When we finish up the rest of the errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly, then returns with a slice of cake for both of us to share as a snack. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling, anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you get used to it. I have another question, and what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about. He suddenly goes silent and lowers his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy, and I feel my heart lurch. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. To my surprise, Claude continues talking. Shortly after I came to Angielle, there was a woman that I met whose smile was radiant as the sunshine. She was beautiful, and when she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? You are, Lucette, you so are! Claude watches me quietly as if he is measuring my expression. Eventually, he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed and I thought we were truly in love, and then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pain. Well, something's happened when I realized she's only loved me because of my curse. She was drawn to me just like any other woman is. She seemed so genuine in comparison to the other woman, but in the end, Claude trails off and lets out an exasperated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone who honestly loved me back. So then the last person he loved was that woman. Claude looks to me for a few moments and then he does not speak. Lucette, do you mind if I ask you a question? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved someone? My mother, of course. I was referring to a romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? Allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me, and it is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about small things, about offending that person in some way. You'll wonder if they'll like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for dinner. You begin to find beauty in all the things that they do. Their presence makes you feel complete in a way that you've never thought before. You try to imagine life without that person and find that you cannot. To even consider such a painful thing, so much that it feels like you might break your heart. Claude continues talking, but my mind is already whirling. Though he phrases things like it is still feeling unnecessarily dramatic. I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing. Those are the things I feel like when I'm with him. 'Cause you're in love with him, girl! Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn. I can see a progression of knights along with the king on his horse. He normally rides into town like this, but today he's not smiling, and there's no way too many knights riding with him. And that's... Oh! That's Sir Alcaster?! Let's go find a place to stand and watch. As you wish. Claude walks with me into the crowd and gathering around the king, and we found a spot to spectate the very edge, closer to the alleyway. My beloved citizens of Angielle, I have come before you today to make an important announcement. Did I give him a British accent in the prologue? I don't even remember, dude. Ever since I was given this crown, I have sworn to live in my life for the people, and to rule in fairness, so our kingdom could enjoy great places. The crowd breaks into applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there is sadness in his eye, though he is smiling. Then I notice Sir Alcaster appearing to be hiding his smile. Wait, Sir Alcaster is Fritz's father, right? That's not the creepy guy, the Peter Baelish guy, right? I'm getting confused again. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes on for a long minute after that, with him detailing the commitments he had made. The goals he set, finally, his love for the people. The audience around us clap and cheer, but Claude and I are silent. Something's not right. I nod in response. To this day, I keep my promise. I would never break this oath, for it is the foundation which I rule. The audience claps again, but I am silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, I unwelcome the news that I bring to you today gives me reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I have fallen terminally ill. What? The king's proclaim is met with a shock and angry chatter from the audience. Cannot hear anything but that is being oversaid by the choreography of voices, but I know that the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He's lying. I can tell by the firm set on his jaw and the way that his eyes flicker across the crowd faster than they ought to. The king lied to me so many times before that I can recognize when he does this. I know that this is unfortunate news must come as a shock, but this is an illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, he trails off for a few moments, and I think I see in his eyes a hint of urgency, but I'm not sure why. The crowned princess is unmarried and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. She could rule just as fine with the help of Sir Mithros and the others. She does, even though she's like very, you know, like innocent and like very sweet, she can. After much thought, I have come to the conclusion that of our kingdom, which continues to face danger from the witches, it's the best to put the capable hands of the commander in order, Caldria, Sir Alcaster. Wow! What? Can't hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outburst is a testament to their confusion. While I will provide support and assistance from the sidelines, I cannot in all good graces continue to wear this crown, when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in the recent months, and that Sir Alcaster is the best suited to deal with these conflicts. The Fairytale Curse runs more rapid in these days, and there have been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murder continues, except now the townsfolk sound panic. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctancy in the king's next words. Sir Alcaster has also suggested a number of remedies to our local laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alcaster can better rule this country in those turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty you have shown me. That bastard. Claude has a foul expression on his face, and his words feel heavy, even low in whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself, and he would never hand his crown to someone else. Once Sir Alcaster comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of Angielle, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. Sir Alcaster continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes to go towards the night. But I am slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What is going on? Sir, no. Alcaster must have done something to force the king into a charade. The king stands behind Alcaster with his hands clasped, his eyes alert. But there is helplessness into that, and I have never seen before. This isn't long before the cloud unsettles murmurs becomes agitated whispering. I am stunned when Claude cups his hand over his mouth as he starts shouting. There's only one king! King Gennaro! Claude grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so people cannot spot him where he continues to shout. The crowd begins to chant along with Claude, and then they draw their nearer to the stage where my father and Alcaster are standing. There's only one king, King Gennaro. Oh god, Claude, what did you do? Let's go, Lucette. The crowd is right next to the platform now, and the chanting carries on. Claude pulls me to him, but my mind is on my father and his desperate eyes. What the fuck is happening? Hours later, the Martian tavern is chaotic. People are talking over one another, trying to relate to the scene that they saw in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I have been in the corner of the room the entire time, trying to understand everything, but failing. Delora and Parfait are not here to calm this chaos. Hey, Princess, how are you feeling? I almost jump when I hear Rumple's voice. Surprise? I can feel when a damsel is in distress, milady. Oh god, do not milady her right now! I'm really not in the mood for your flirting, Rumple. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might want some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out of town to survey the situation. Karma doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's the least a man in love can do. I feel myself blush. Rumple, what is Rumple going on about? Princess, you're pink! I'm not! My feelings are scrambled now. This is all Rumple's fault. Thankfully, before Rumple can continue talking, the door opens and Delora walks inside to call the Martian boarders into the reception room. When I step into the reception room, I'm surprised to see two familiar figures standing beside Parfait. Oh shit! How do you pronounce her name again? I know you guys said in the comments and I'm so sorry for like saying her name wrong. Emmeline, right? It's Emmeline, that's how you say her name, right? Emmeline and Rod. Oh god. Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as I step inside. The prince and princess? Where do they come from? What is happening at the palace? And what of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone! Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and then turns to Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you would, tell everyone what you told Delora and I. The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins her story. She starts with an event of 1 week ago. In the middle of the family dinner, Alcaster burst with soldiers and seized her, Rod, and Ophelia in front of the king. What the fuck? Sir Alcaster said that if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them were taken down to the prison cells with Ophelia taken in a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Fritz? Are you openly disobeying your father? I hope that he's safe. I hope he's okay, because Fritz was nice! Alcaster wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that he still will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. I speak before realizing everyone stares at me, including Ron and Emmeline. Alcaster's a foul man. I can only think he's absurd the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to father before. Did you say father? It's a long story, Emmeline. Oh yeah, that's right, because she's not cursed. Rod is. All right, okay. Emmeline looks between Rod and I, and her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Emmeline looks when she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her somehow. And Sir Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him after that, and we couldn't just wait, so Rod brought me here. Right now, we need to piece together this situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out the ways to save the king. I knew Alcaster was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate to this. Jurin, what do you know about this? Garland and I were stripped of our titles because we are disobeying Alcaster's orders. It's because we overheard Alcaster plotting something that he tried to tell the king of his plot. We gave him a warning, but the king did not believe us, not with the Alcaster and Maitros whispering in his ears. Of course not, why would they believe them? Didn't think Alcaster was possible of such betrayal. He thought we were trying to turn against him, Alcaster for his own gain. So, Alcaster stripped us of our titles and banished us from the palace. Lady Perfect found us, and while we were happy to help out the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcaster has been planning to do this all this time. Dude, what the fuck? When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora take Rod and Emmeline to their rooms so they can share. It has been decided they will be harbored here at the Marsh, a place that Emmeline apparently knew about but never came to because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say that his family knew he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline looking at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. She must be wondering, like, how does she know the father and whatever, yeah, so. The next few days is a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to figure out what happened, and what can be done to help the king. I am sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day, my thoughts on everything but my chores. Everyone has been trying to do something to help me in the last few days. Though I've gone on quite a few trips into town with Klaude to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. I feel so useless. I'm finally back on my break, and so I decided to go to the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline sitting on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. She hasn't really openly spoke to me since we've been here. Parfait and Delora have been trying to hide her, so as not to cause a ruckus in the Martian. Rumors are dangerous now. You're Lucette, right? Yes. Rod told me about your curse. He said that you're the king's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked by Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Aw, I mean, Emmeline's really sweet. I know she has sweet intentions, but like, Lucette is very jealous of her. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I still think that maybe he does. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you or Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we can turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk up before the conversation can continue. Ah, poor girl. If I hadn't been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcaster have taken me hostage too? That's a good question. I don't think he would. He'd probably use her. Anyway, I'm gonna end the episode right here. So this was an interesting one. I'm sorry I mistaken Maitros and Alcaster for the snaky Peter Baelish guy. So it's Fritz's father who is the asshole in all of this, not the other guy. The other guy's just creepy. But now I'm wondering what he's planning to do, because I'm pretty sure Lucette's mother's not dead. I just have this sneaky feeling she's not dead and she's working with Alcaster. That's how they knew how to find Lucette and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm glad that we got to know a little bit more about Karma's curse in his past with him falling in love with someone else. And hopefully my prediction of like him falling in love with some of the thorns and whatever is right, because that would be kind of cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you guys would like to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description where you can go ahead and pledge. You get some cool rewards too with any pledge you do. And all my patrons get extra videos, extra Let's Plays, only exclusive to Patreon only, and also get early access to my videos every day. So if you guys would like to pledge to my Patreon, I'd really appreciate it if you did. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the companions, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye! What happened? Our bricks have become slamming into each other and landing on the floor. Him on top of me. Of course you would be. I'm so gay. But yeah, prove it. Totally will. So I assume they have sex while she is drunk. Well, they're both drunk, but Liliana is more drunk than